Hey guys. So, today we're doing simplifying radical expressions. This should be a fairly simple task, but you just got to remember some of our rules about radicals. Okay? So, when we look at a problem like this, you got to think of a radical as same rules that you would have in it's the same rules that you would have with a variable, okay? So for example, you're going to be, you can't combine them unless they're like terms, okay? So for example, right here, this here and this here are like terms, and these here and these here are like terms, okay? Now when you combine them, just like a variable, you add the exponents or subtract, or excuse me, you add the coefficients or subtract the coefficients based on whatever you're asked to do. So for example, I would rewrite this as 3 cube root of 15 minus 7 cube root of 15 minus 2 square root of 11 plus 6 square root of 11. And now I add or subtract the coefficients. So 3 and negative 7 is negative 4. And that is the cubed root of 15. And then this would be plus negative 2 and positive 6 is plus 4 square root of 11. Okay? And now you want to, for cubed roots, you want to see, are there anything that, any cubes that I can pull out of 15, okay? So you'd have 1 to the third is 1, 2 to the third is 8, 3 to the third is 27, okay? So none of those are going to come out of 15, so that doesn't do me any good. And then 11, obviously there's no square roots that come out of 11, so then this would be your answer. Okay? So same rules apply that apply to a radical, just as far as you are not allowed to just, you're not allowed to just add and subtract anything you want. They have to be like terms. Okay? So now if we get to like this question, we look at them and none of them actually have, none of them are like terms right now. So the first thing we want to do is we want to see, can we simplify any of these? Well, 2 I can't simplify. 18, now we're looking to see, do we have any perfect squares that go into these numbers? So perfect squares again would be 1, which doesn't do us any good. So 1 isn't going to be one we're going to worry about. 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9. 4 squared is 16, and obviously I don't want to go any higher than that. Well, I know I can write that as the square root of 9 times 2. This is going to be the square root of 2, 3, plus. Alright, so now let's try 20. 4 goes into 20, 9 does not, 16 does not, and then the next one up is 25. So I can write this as negative 2, this would be square root of 4 times 5. Okay, and now you're going to simplify. Square root of 4 is going to be 2 plus 3 square root of 2 minus 3 times square root of 9 is 3 radical 2. This gives me negative 4 radical 5 plus 3 radical 2 minus 9 radical 2. And now I combine my like terms. I have a positive 3 and a negative 9 radical 2, so that gives me negative 4 radical 5 minus 6 radical 2. And there's my answer. Okay? So I can simplify them if possible, and then once they become like terms, then I can add them together or subtract them. Okay? So now let's do multiplication. So you can use box method or you can use FOIL. It's up to you either way. This would work with area method or with FOIL method. So 1 times 5 is 5. The last That's plus 3 radical 2. This one is going to be plus 5 radical 2. And then you have square root of 2 times the square root of 2. Now, I can also write that as the square root of 2. X times x is x squared. So I can write this as the square root of 2 squared. And if you guys remember, I told you that the radical x is actually the same thing as x to the 1/2 power. So this would be 2 to the 1/2, the second power. We're doing power to power, which means we multiply. So that's 2 to the 1/2 times 2, which is 2 to the first, which just equals 2. So then this would be plus 2. Now you combine your like terms. 5 and 3 is 8. Square root of 2. 5 plus 2 is 7. And there's my simplified form of 1 plus the square root of 2 times 5 plus 3 square roots of 2. These are not all that hard, but it is something we have to address. So make sure you do your steps. You will not get credit if you don't have your steps written down. And also make sure if you have any questions that you write them down and you ask me tomorrow after the warm-up. Have a great day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Make sure your binder is ready to be checked during class. Have a great night, guys.